Newcastle United, since the takeover, have been linked with some massive names in the world of football. Of course, some of them have gone to the extreme. Some of them have been quite realistic. Now, following on from Luke Edwards' report the other day saying that Newcastle United are going to be very aggressive in the transfer market, there has been some big names linked, and a couple of them this morning, so we'll have a look at them. Callum Wilson has been speaking about the mood around the camp since the Aston Villa defeat, and also PSG, they have sprouted up again with their interest in Bruno. And finally, Ryan Fraser. Could there be a future for him at Newcastle United? Let's get into it. This is the Daily News. Hi everybody, welcome to the Daily News on the Toon Review, and some cracking news to go with. I mean, very exciting, as usual. It normally is when it comes to Newcastle United and transfer rumours at the minute. But before we get into it, if you do enjoy the video, please do hit that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, go down there and smash that subscribe button, which is of course free to do so. Come and be part of this fantastic community on the Toon Review. And of course, hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any future videos. Right, let's get into it, and we'll start off with the news about Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. Now, he was mentioned a few times in the winter transfer window with a move away from Barcelona. Things haven't really gone his way. Not saying he hasn't played football, because he has. But the situation of Barcelona is very interesting, to say the least, at the minute, with financial worries. They're not the big powerhouse that they used to be, and players are looking elsewhere to play football rather than looking at Barcelona as the be-all and end-all to go and play in La Liga. Now, we know that Dembele was over here in the northeast not so long ago because he's friends with the Sunderland chairman, of course, and he was taken in a Sunderland game. Now, there has been a report that Dembele, while he was over here, had discussions with Newcastle United, and it was made clear that Newcastle United were interested in him. So he left the country, knowing no doubt that the club were interested in buying him. Now, this comes down to the Champions League, which a lot of these players, to be fair, they will come down to the Champions League. So if we make the Champions League, it opens up a whole array of options for us for players that we can get in rather than the Europa League. Now, for me, and we've said many times, this season has just been an absolute dream for Newcastle United. So if we finish Champions League or Europa League, it's still been a hell of a success. But we've got that taste of the Champions League now, haven't we? You know, we're there, we're fourth in the table, we've been third. There's still a long way to go yet as well. So very, very exciting times for the rest of the season. But these players, they will only come to the club, obviously, the Dembeles of this world, if we are in the Champions League. And look, he's a fabulous player. There is no doubt about it. He is a fabulous player and somebody that Newcastle United could really, really do with if we're going into Champions League. Remember, we have to build a squad. There's going to be a lot of football next season, whichever competition that we go into. So we've got to be ready for it. We can't have a threadbare squad, and this is what I think has been made known about going aggressive in the transfer window. We want to compete with all these teams, certainly moving forward. Now, another player that has been mentioned, and Paul Merson actually believes that Christian Pulisic from Chelsea would be a very, very good addition to Newcastle United's squad. Now, personally, I don't really care what Paul Merson's got to say. I have no interest in Paul Merson's comments about our club at all. But Pulisic is another one that's been mentioned. Now, we know the situation at Chelsea is just all over the shop right now. It really is. It's everywhere. They're just rubbish at the minute. And we never thought we'd say that about Chelsea, but their record is stinking right now. And they just don't seem to have that team ethic at Chelsea. You know, you look at the Newcastle United squad, can you really say that there's the same morale and belief and positivity in that Chelsea dressing room than there is in Newcastle? Absolutely not. Now, we play Chelsea on the last game of the season at Stamford Bridge. If we've got something to play for, then I still fancy just going there and winning. I know that we've said before that, you know, Chelsea, mid-table, they've got nothing to play for, and that normally opens the taps up a little bit for them to play with less pressure. So it could be a very big game at Stamford Bridge at the end of the season. But Pulisic, I like him. I really do. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and I think a lot of Newcastle fans are. He's got Champions League experience, of course, playing in Europe. So it would, we need those players through the door that have had that kind of experience and that can handle the pressure of playing in Europe. And Pulisic is certainly one of those. Now, we know that, Miggy's done really well on that right side this season. Jacob Murphy, to an extent, has also done that. We've got Anthony Gordon. Where is he going to play? Where does he fit into the jigsaw? But if we were to sign somebody like Christian Pulisic, I think it would be an absolutely brilliant signing for Newcastle United. No doubt in my mind at all. He's a very, very good footballer, good crosser of the ball, and is still relatively young. We keep thinking that Pulisic has been around for years and years. That's not actually the case. He's still relatively young. So for me, it would be a brilliant signing. Now, £30 million has been mentioned. I think 30 million for Pulisic is a great deal. It's a fabulous deal. Now, if we're going to go aggressive in the transfer window, we keep mentioning that word, aggressive. If we're to go aggressive again, Pulisic will be certainly somebody that we could possibly bring in. Would you be interested in Pulisic? He's been mentioned a few times in previous transfer windows, not so much for the summer coming up, but, the talking about him has been a good addition to the Newcastle squad. What do you guys think? And Callum Wilson, now he has been talking to the press and has basically said about being on the bench, he is quite annoyed by that. Not annoyed that he causes problems, but you can understand, he wants to be out there on the field. He realises that his form did dip. He also realises that Isak has come in and set the world on fire. So it's very difficult for Callum to get in the side. Many people want to see both of them in, including me. I'd love to see how they do. Seeing them both on the pitch at Brentford, the way they performed was fantastic. Wilson came on against Aston Villa, and within a minute, Isak put a beautiful ball in for Callum Wilson, which he was a couple of inches away from putting in the net. These two can play together. There is no doubt about that. So, will Eddie ever go with the two of them? I don't know. But Callum has stated that he's annoyed. He doesn't want to be on the bench, but that also motivates him more when he does get on the pitch to get some more goals. And of course, he's doing that. Both Isak and Wilson are scoring. So would you like to see both of them play? If so, what formation do we play? That's the question. Do we have to go to a two up front, or, what would you do if you were to play Isak and Wilson? But he also stated that they were very, very hurt after the Aston Villa game, disappointed, upset, and very angry at the way things had gone at Villa, and they do want to put that right this weekend against Tottenham Hotspur. And quite honestly, that's what we expect. I expect Newcastle United to have fire in the bellies on Sunday when they go out there and not start as poorly as they have done in the last couple of games. It's time that, from that first whistle, that these guys go out like they did against Manchester United at St James's and really get at Tottenham and give them a rough ride. We know they're very frail at the minute, with confidence. The loss to Bournemouth and, equalising so late on and then conceding a goal 2 minutes after that. Their confidence is low, guys, so we can get at them. And I just hope Eddie gets the boys fired up enough. But he shouldn't have to. The players should be fired up enough as it is to go out there and belt one to Tottenham. Now, PSG. Our old foes across the water there in Vive la France. We know that they made a declaration a couple of months ago that they were interested in Bruno. Now, we know, or we hope we know, that Newcastle United don't have any intention of selling Bruno. He is going to be pivotal to what we do in the future, pivotal to the players we bring in, and we want to build a team around Bruno. And Bruno knows this. Bruno stated that he wants to be a hero, a legend, and the rest of it at Newcastle United. And that's down to Bruno to do on the pitch. But off the pitch, the rumours are going to be there, guys, all the time about Bruno. Because when you have a top player like Bruno is, and let's face it, he's one of the best midfielders that we've seen at this club in many a year. Many years. Even people that have, gone back before the entertainers. This guy is something special. And we know that this team's going to be interested in him. Now, apparently Paris Saint-Germain have reignited their interest simply because they know now that Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool and Manchester City have all kind of declared an interest in Bruno and what he could bring to their sides. So that's re-alerted Paris Saint-Germain. Now, for me, I think it's all pie in the sky. I really do. I think there's no chance of Bruno leaving the football club. I think the rumours are always going to be there, no matter what time of the year it is, whether there's a window open or not. Bruno will always be up there with the with the rumour mills and he's going here, he's going there. But if we build a team around him, we're in the Champions League, why would Bruno want to leave? If we are going to be up there and challenging, which Amanda Staveley has come out time after time after time and said that she wants us challenging. So for me, I wouldn't even worry about what you read about Bruno, guys. I just don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. And finally, Newcastle United under-21s, the club seemingly want a player coach. Now, the player coach that they want has to be overage, but also, you can play overage players in the under-21s. I think you can play a couple of them every game. Now, the one name that has been mentioned for this role, believe it or not, is Ryan Fraser. Now, Ben Dawson, the manager of the under-21s, has come out numerous times since the Norwich game on Monday and said that he's delighted with the attitude of Ryan Fraser. He's had a positive impact in the dressing room. Obviously, the players in the under-21s realise he's been banished from the seniors, but he's not once come in there and created any problems, and he's been a role model to these players. Now, hats off to Ryan Fraser, first of all, because he could have gone into that dressing room, sulked, just kicked off all the time, not bothering with training and things like that. But, Ben Dawson has come out and said he's done nothing but be a positive force on that dressing room. And he is reiterating that he would love Ryan Fraser to take up that role. Now, does Ryan Fraser want to move in the summer and go somewhere and play first-team football? Or is he at a point in his career now where he's looking at moving into coaching? And this will be an ideal step for him to stay at Newcastle United and become player coach for the under-21s. He'll still be playing football, but he'll be in a very important role in bringing that academy forward, which we know needs work and needs a lot of work. So he'll be part of all that as well. Now, we don't know behind the scenes what's going on. Obviously, he's had a fallout with Eddie Howe again. There's no doubt about that, which is why he is where he is. However, he's gone to the under-21s and he's proven to be a very good role model for these younger players. So is it a possibility, do you think, I'm asking you guys out there as well, do you think Ryan Fraser would be a good player coach for the under-21s? If he wants to get into coaching, is this the first step? Is this an opportunity for Ryan Fraser to maybe do something different in his career and then look towards the coaching role now? It's very interesting, isn't it? Because, he could have gone in and sulked, like I said, but he hasn't. He's gone in and been very positive. So we'll wait and see what happens on that one. But there you go, guys. A lot of transfer big names mentioned. Dembele, Pulisic, are they players that you would be very interested in bringing to Newcastle United? Let me know in the comments. I do read all the comments. I'm intrigued as to know what you guys think as well of what news has been. Pulisic, for me, would be a fabulous signing. Dembele, never thought we'd get him, to be honest, but if there's an opportunity there, then why not? We need a big squad. We need quality players coming in who have also got that European experience. And these guys have. But whether they're players that you'd be interested in, just let me know in the comments. But thank you very much for watching, guys. As I said at the start, if you have enjoyed the show, please do hit that like button. Very important for us. And also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, come and join this magnificent community we have in here on the Toon Review by hitting the subscribe button. Free to do so. And of course, hit the notification bell, which will also let you know when we go live or if any future videos are uploaded. You can become a member of the Toon Review down below. If you just hit that join button, you can find us on all the socials, which are linked in the description for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We have a Discord server as well, so search Discord for that, and you'll find the Toon Review on there. Brilliant community on there as well. But that's it for now, guys. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon. Take care.